well and educate.
Hey everybody, welcome back.
Good to see everyone.
Welcome to episode 1 of season 2 of Live Well and Educate. We're happy to see you all.
Season 2.
Thanks for joining us. We took a little bit of a hiatus here and we'll talk about why in a little bit, but we're excited for season 2. I think we'll have some really fun things to talk about, some really important things to talk about, and we're excited to share it with you.
Yeah, we're back. It's spring. We were just talking. Normally we do this on Sunday nights, and every other time that we did a podcast, it was in the evening, and it was dark outside, and it's still light, which is amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here we are. I'm Phil. I'm a 5th grade teacher. I've been teaching for 16 years now.
Yep.
Is that how many years it is? I've been teaching 5th grade this is my 7th year. And before that, I taught anywhere from kindergarten to 12th grade physical education. I coach junior varsity football, varsity baseball, been an athletic director in the past. So got a lot of educational experience. And my better half, she's got...
Yeah, I'm Becky. This is also my 16th year. We're wrapping it up here. I'm an elementary school counselor now. But formerly a high school counselor in a couple different districts, and before that, a high school PE and health teacher. Also did a little stint as an athletic director and a coach, and now I just coach youth sports and absolutely love it.
Yeah. So, hey, if you're just joining us on season 2, we share that we're educators and we want to be here to support you. We're going to talk about all the ups and downs and all the things that go on in a school and tell you that you're not alone, and we get it. And there's a lot of people out there that get it. And there's a lot of people out there that don't get it. And that's why we're doing this.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're doing it. Just to let you know that we're here to support. And we also want to hear what's going on in your world too. So you can always comment on any of our episodes or on our YouTube channel. If you want us to talk about any specific issue, you can always send us a question that you want us to answer on the podcast. We want to stay relevant, and we know that we don't live in a bubble, and there's a lot of other things going on in the world of education than just right here where we're at. So
yeah,
reach out.
Reach out. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, give us a likes.
Share us.
Yeah, help us reach people just like us, just like you that are listening, so we can reach across the country educators that need somebody to connect with.
Yeah. And I think I want to really hone in on that point you made about we're still doing it. We're still educators. We're not former educators who are now lecturing current educators on what to do and what not to do. We are in the trenches with you, and we'll share stories that are currently happening in our professional lives. So you know that we get it. And I think that's really important for our listeners to know, is that we're not up here talking down to you. We're right there with you.
Yeah. And anybody that's been in education, even for a few years, know that it's fluid. It's fluid from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. I mean, everything changes. Depends on who's absent, who's not. Depends on what grand idea the state has to increase literacy rates and how that's going to impact the classroom, and what ELA curriculum we need to come up with. Everything changes. And I mean, we think back, 6 years ago now, how much vastly different the world was in the world of COVID, right? And I think I was just making a point with the kids the other day, like, hey, think about it. Here was the 6-year anniversary. Yeah. And it's like, hey, after today, 6 years ago, you were in kindergarten, there was no school the rest of the year. Like, we missed over a quarter of the year. It's wild, right? It's wild. And, we found a way to traverse those waters, and things are going to change and be different, and we'll figure that out too.
Right. And I think we're still dealing with some of the aftermath from that, right? Like the ripple effect, I should say, from that. But a lot of that is debatable. We don't need to get into that right now. I see you being like, I don't know, but
No, I mean, I think that some of that's legitimate for sure. I think also that people tend to use it as a crutch.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that could be a whole nother episode.
it could be. It
Let's
could
write
be.
it down and
Yeah.
do it
And
again
if you
a
want to hear
different
about it,
time.
tell us. Tell
Yeah,
us. Yeah.
exactly. Or if
Okay.
you're done hearing about it,
Yeah.
then
I mean, if
I
we
get
never
that
talked
too.
about COVID again, that would be amazing, but we will.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Give us your opinion, comment, review.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of spring, it doesn't feel like spring. I mean, we have more light, but we got this massive blizzard last week and missed 4 straight days of school.
4 straight days of
For
school.
Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, historic Midwest blizzard. Yeah, it was wild.
It was really wild. Yeah, so it's been kind of hard to get into a rhythm with our students and with our schedule. And yeah, I mean, snow days are great, but then after a while, it's like, all right, like let's get going here. Let's get into a rhythm. Have
Yeah,
you noticed a change in your kids and stuff in your classroom?
yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's been really challenging to get into a rhythm because we've had a lot of snow days this year. We've gotten a lot of snow, and there've been a lot of snow days on just random days, Fridays and Wednesdays, and it just disrupts, like it disrupts any momentum that you have. So it's been really hard. And then boom, there's a stretch of 4 days of snow days, and it's like, whoa, all right, cool. Well, I wasn't, I was planning on having a quiz the next day, so can't really do that after 4 days of not being at school. So you got to go back and review. So it really impacts the kids. It impacts the teachers, all the adults quite a bit.
Yeah. And I also feel like, and I've never felt this before, but I feel a little bit, and I've heard it from other people that I work with, like you feel guilty then for then the days that you end up taking off in the future. Like, let's say you had a trip planned and you were going to take a day off, and then people feel guilty because they miss so much time with their kids, and they don't have any control over it. And I don't think that they need to feel guilty, but I mean, we just care and we want to give the kids the best instruction and the best um experience you can in school, and then you feel like you're
Yeah.
shorting them.
Right. I mean, you want to be stable you want to be the stable spot for the kids.
Right.
Right. A lot of the kids have turbulent lives.
Right.
They don't know what home looks like, and you want to be that solid figure for them every day. They know they can come to school and see you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, when you take time off, I mean, I feel it. I feel guilty when I go to guard. I have to take time off of school. You tell the kids you're not going to be there because you want to prep them. They're like, oh man, and it's good to hear that. Right. Like they want you to be there. Of course, they want you to be there because it's a better routine. But it's hard when you're not there because you know that they rely on a stable figure there every day. When you take a day
Right.
for yourself, of course you feel guilty because those kids need you, but you also need to take time for yourself too. So it's a delicate balance.
It definitely is. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting, and it makes sense because we've had so many days off, and we worry about our kids, when they're not with us and we don't have eyes on them for so many days in a row. You worry about them, and then again, you feel bad that you're going to take more time away from them, but it's necessary and you're not doing anything wrong.
No, you're not. But I get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like you just care so much,
Right.
So, yeah. It's like on, what was it on The Office? Like, my greatest flaw is that I don't have any flaws. It's like my greatest flaw is I care so much, right? And you care so much, and it ends up being sometimes impacting you in a negative way. Like normally it's a positive, but you can care so much and want to do so well that like sometimes it can like give you some anxiety and guilt for not being there, and it's almost too much.
Right. It could be a detriment for sure.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for, a detriment.
Yeah. I ran into a colleague of mine right before the blizzard, and you're stocking up on whatever you need, and she's like, I'm just gonna worry about so and so. Like, I feel like I'm gonna think about her the whole time, and I could just see the sadness in her eyes. And you don't have any control over that, and you don't have any control over what goes on at home. But those are the kinds of things that just make your heart hurt.
Right.
It's hard. It's very easy to go down a rabbit hole too of the what ifs, what could be happening at home. And
Yeah, and I think with snow days is that if you are, not, or you're in a district that you never have snow days, it's hard because they're very unpredictable. Sometimes you
Mhm.
can get the call like a night before when it's incredibly bad the evening, but it's normally at like 5 in the morning, right? So you wake up and you're like, oh, I wonder what student X is doing today. Like you can't plan for it, and it's unpredictable for the kids also, who several of them, their lives are very unpredictable.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no school,
Right.
right? No breakfast at school, no lunch at school,
Hmm.
no knowing that I'm going to have reading and phys ed at this exact time. Like it's hard on the kids, and we know
Hmm.
that.
Right. Yeah. Do you see a difference at your age, like when kids come back, if they don't have the structure at home, or if they've been like they've been staring at a screen all day for 5 days in a row? Like, do you notice that?
I do. After a long break or like a hiatus, like a stretch of long snow days, I notice that they come back significantly more tired.
Oh,
Like they're just like
yeah.
zombies first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
just glazed over eyes. Where we got to pump it up a little bit first thing in the morning and get
Hmm.
them moving. Yeah, after a long break, they are just very mellow first thing in the morning. I think as we get rolling, they once they get into the routine, it gets better. But man, they are flat right from the jump.
Yeah.
How about
Interesting.
you? Have you noticed?
Yeah, I mean, at the elementary level, I was talking to a kindergarten teacher, and it's just like it's basically like starting over. They kind of forget. And I think, the kids who don't have the structure and routine at home, they do forget, because it's not, they're not required to have, they don't have expectations,
Yeah,
or their
right,
expectations are low,
right.
or, there's not follow through. And, parenting and that kind of thing is a whole other episode too that we'll need to talk about. But you can tell,
Yeah, they
you
fall
can
back
definitely
into the
tell.
old habits. Huh?
Yeah, they fall, but yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yep. They
yeah.
forget how to keep their hands to themselves, how to walk in a line, like just the simple basic things that they've been working on, all school year.
Yeah, I think some of the older kids, those behaviors aren't things that slide back. It's more
Hmm.
the academic stuff.
Yeah.
I like. I wish I could say that if we have 4 snow days, several of my students are at home reading, and maybe a few are, but most of them probably aren't. They're probably staring at screens,
Right.
so they're forgetting, you know, things that we're doing at school. So again, like I said, we have to go back and review
Hmm.
before we can move forward. So it's
Right.
like one step forward, two
Just,
step two steps back
yeah.
from time to time.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during the snow day and maybe a couple weeks before, Phil and I just had a lot of conversations about kind of what direction we wanted to take this podcast and my services in general. Um, and we're kind of shifting gears a little bit. And through our conversations on the podcast and conversations with my clients and colleagues, we kind of realized that some pretty major flaws, in the system. Um, and you kind of realize like there's a lot more going on that needs to be addressed on a bigger scale, on a larger scale. And so my one-on-one work with clients was amazing, and I will continue to do that, but it slowed down pretty significantly. Which it could be timely. Like it could be time to shift and do a little bit more work on a grander scale.
Right. And silver
Um,
lining of that is,
mhm,
there are some people that needed some help, some aid from you, and
mhm.
you put a band-aid on a few things and fix it up, and boom, they're back and hopefully feeling a lot better.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, that's a goal, and I want to continue to offer that because I think it's nice to have that resource. Um, but even through like discussions with districts and trying to get them on board, it's been an incredibly frustrating experience because I think everyone can agree that educators need support. I don't know that I've ever talked to anyone that's like, nah,
That's
they
silly.
they don't need
Yeah.
any support, any kind of any support or whatever. But the amount of people who are willing to invest in the support is very minimal, and that's been really frustrating.
right? And you've seen it, right? Like
Yeah.
talking to people, sending emails, calling, either negative response or no response,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Right. Yep. And it's, and it really comes down to money, which is really unfortunate. And so, um, that's kind of an avenue that we're going to explore. And I'm specifically going to explore is, what funding and money is available to help support educators. And then where can I get in, maybe to do some prevention work.
Hmm.
Um, and we've talked about that too, like and we talked about that in another episode,
Like
an
what did,
education training,
right?
right?
Like
Like,
what didn't I learn in college that would
yes,
have helped
that
me
episode. Yes.
in my career? Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think, that will be an avenue that we explore too, is like, how do we prevent some of these things from happening? And the prevention is super important because, and I'll talk about the survey I put out there, and we had over 100 people respond to the survey. And educators they're not leaving necessarily, and there's not fewer educators entering the profession. You sent me a video about that too, about Michigan,
I did.
educators in Michigan.
Some like independent reporter.
Yeah.
And I wish I knew who it was so I could cite it. But yeah, he's just doing some research on educators
Right.
because there's an issue in Michigan with the amount of educators that are sticking around.
Yeah. Yeah. And so people are still going into the profession.
Hmm.
Fewer are sticking it out, I think, for the long term.
Yep.
Right. Like, so more people are burning out. Um, but a lot of the dedicated educators who are in the profession, they want to stay. Like, they feel like it's their calling, right? They want to help. They want to be an educator, whether it's in the classroom or admin or a paraprofessional or a counselor. They want to stay, but, um, there's got to be help. Like, they need support and they need help.
And we're not even necessarily just talking about like counseling support, but we mean
Right.
like more mentoring their first year or two. Like some like knowing who to go to. Like when an issue comes up, right? Like
Yep.
not necessarily just counseling, right? Like what
100%.
type of supports are you talking about?
I think mentorship is huge. And in the state of Michigan, I don't know how it is in other states, but in the state of Michigan, you need to have a mentor, I think, for your first 3 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but it's
And
very like it's not very defined as to what a mentor is nor what they should do.
right. And the people who are the mentors are doing a wonderful service for these new educators, but what kind of training and support is available to them,
Right.
and how do you learn to be a mentor? I mean, these mentors are full-time, let's say, teachers, right? Also, and then in addition, they are taking on a new educator. How do you even know where to start? What resources are available? And I guess that's something I would like to talk about, because there are resources available, in Michigan, and I found that there's funding available for that type of support. So,
Yeah, I mean, in mentorship and leadership, I don't think it's innate in all people. Some people it is. Some people
yeah,
just have that. But I mean,
right,
like in my experience, you look in the military, if somebody's gonna be a leader of people, you're gonna train them. You're gonna tell them what you expect them to do, so that way when you set them free and give them that opportunity to lead and like think on their own, they can draw back on some of that training,
right,
right? I mean, there's like, but to expect a fourth grade teacher or a fifth grade teacher to know how to mentor a first year teacher just on their own, I think that's a pretty tall task.
right,
And still also teach their own classroom and navigate all the waters that come of that at the exact same time.
right, right. And we talk about it sometimes, as coaches, and you see other coaches. It's like, just because someone is a good teacher doesn't mean that they're going to be a naturally good mentor. Just because someone was a good basketball player doesn't mean they're going to be a naturally good basketball coach. You learn and you
Mm-hmm.
train, and you, study, and you get sport, and there's resources if you're not naturally gifted. Um, so yeah, I think that's super important. And I think it's super important to value the mentor's time. And the way you can do that is by paying them.
Time is money.
Time is money. Show them what they're worth, and value the impact that they're making on this new educator.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And you got to train them, and you got to pay them. Right? You got to make it worth their while.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been asked, and I think a lot of people in the area have been asked to be a mentor teacher for a student teacher. Right? Like, hey, will you take on this student teacher? And I think a lot of people are like, oh, no, like they turn that away immediately because, it's time, it's effort, and like what you're being compensated for doing it is minimal. I'm talking like $50.
Right.
Like, that's a lot of effort. And if you're just trying to figure yourself out and you're trying to get through the school year, do your best, like to be able to tackle that on top of everything that you have going on at school, not to mention at home.
Right.
That's a lot.
Right.
Right. And the older we get, the more different 23-year-olds are. Right? I forget what a 22 or 23-year-old, how they think. Right? Like it's challenging. It's different.
Right. And as a supervising teacher or mentor, you're not going to do a half-assed job. Like you taking on a student teacher or a mentee or whatever role you're taking on, like you want to do a good job, because at the end of the day, they're eventually going to be taking over a classroom or, be in charge of kids. Like you want to do a good job, and that takes time and that takes energy.
And most teachers are that way. Yes.
Right.
Force multipliers. Like if I can help this teacher do well, then I can, maybe they'll get hired in our school and they'll make our school better. They'll make the kids better, the grade before me. And then they're more prepared for 5th grade or whatever grade it is.
Yeah,
right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jinx.
So mentorship. I think mentorship is huge. And then the prevention piece, I think, is a lot of during their education training, even prior to their student teaching. And Phil and I talked about this before, and we kind of went back and forth. And I thought, okay, what if the educators in training took a course while they were student teaching, kind of like their seminar that they do. And we talk about some of those habits to maintain wellness and a healthy balance between work and home. And you kind of thought that should start even earlier, like even before
I do.
That semester or year of student teaching.
Yeah, I do. And I still think so. I mean, I think it's similar to learning about the standards or learning how to teach math or reading. Or you learn that early on in your education program. And when you are student teaching, you're just learning how to manage behaviors, maybe learning how to plan. You're not necessarily talking about the standards, but you know where to find them, right? Like that there's a standard on teaching long division to 5th grade students, and you can reach back and find that. So I think the earlier that like teachers in training can get that information on how to handle themselves mentally, or how to deal with or handle students that are struggling mentally, the earlier they can have that, they can start putting that into practice in their like pre-internships and in their internship itself.
Right.
Or student teaching, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, we're 16 years in, and I know a lot of the situations that we've been through and we've observed, like you can't predict every single thing that's going to happen in your life as an educator. Like you can't fit all of that into a semester long course. Like here are all the situations you're ever going to be faced with.
Nope.
But if you can cover certain aspects of it to help build confidence in educators so that they can go in to their student teaching feeling equipped to handle what is going to be thrown at them, I think that would be huge.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
And we've never talked about this before, but do you think that maybe some education programs are not doing that because they don't want to scare teachers away from the profession?
Possibly.
Right? Because that's daunting.
Yeah. It can be daunting.
And we've talked about you don't know some of this stuff that you're going to be dealing with or have to handle on a day-to-day basis when you're like in college. What am I going to do with my life? Oh, I'm going to be a teacher. Right? Like I had no idea. Like I just want to teach gym class. Sorry, Dr. Berkey. Like I want to teach phys ed and I want to have fun, teach kids how to throw. I had never thought the issues that I see on a day-to-day basis would be anything that a teacher would have to tackle. Like, it's part of life now, but if I
Right.
would have known that when I was 20 years old, I don't know if I would have done it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a really good point. I mean, I think it could scare teachers or educators off. Um, or it could be like, yeah, I knew there were some hard parts. Thank you for enlightening me, and helping me feel prepared. I mean, I know it's not the same, but like you have, let's say, a firefighter. Like, you don't just teach a firefighter all the basics of how to use a hose in a fire truck and don't talk about the really scary things that could happen when you enter a burning house.
That's
Right? You
legit.
go through all the
Mm-hmm.
scenarios and then they choose, yep, I want to go through with this, or no, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I know it's not the
No,
same,
but it's
but
like
also
I
like
see the parallels. I mean,
you equip them with the
mm-hmm.
information and then they can make the educated decision.
Yeah, because they should know everything before they enter into the profession. Before you put them in front of 25 second graders, they
Yeah, I
should
think
know all the things that come of being in front of 25 second graders.
yeah. I mean, I remember your first job, and because you were the only male in the school building, you were put on this team to help with kids who, um, one kid in particular,
Mm-hmm.
who had to be restrained
Mm-hmm.
and secluded,
Mm-hmm.
and you were like, "What the hell?" Like, you had no clue,
No idea.
and they just assumed because you were a guy, we're gonna put Phil on this team. And I remember you came home and you're like, I didn't even know this was a thing. They have this room. They have, like, he's hiding under a desk. I don't know how to do it. Like, it was really overwhelming and kind of scary.
Yep, that's all true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I mean, yeah, you equip educators with like, these are potential things. These are real life things that happen in a building. Why do we have to shield them from what they're inevitably going to encounter?
Yeah, I mean, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to, train them to do handle with care before they graduate, so they know how to de-escalate.
Yeah, Northern
Do they?
Michigan does have, it's not Handle with Care, but
Something similar.
they have them take, yep, a similar course. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Which is
great.
great.
Because
Yep.
I mean, obviously, you don't want to put a kid in a hold if you can help it, but I mean, before that, you want to learn how to de-escalate a situation, right?
Yeah.
We're not just gonna, if a kid's sitting in a chair and they're really upset, and we just want them to go 30 feet that way, we're not gonna put them in a hold and carry them. Right? We're gonna work on de-escalating the situation.
Right. There are skills that you can use, and yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Right. And you
Interesting.
hope, okay, you get trained in these kinds of things. It's not even de-escalation, all sorts of things. And hopefully maybe you'll never have to use them, but you're equipped with it, right? Like, you go into it with all of these tools that you can pull from.
Ooh, out of your toolbox
Oh, yeah,
and
good
go
one.
to.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm. And I think a big one for me, um, I think you do a lot better with this than I do, would be like communicating with home, like just communication with adults, either the home, the parents of the child, or other colleagues, and how to do it in a way that that is supportive, but also is strong, and confident, and um,
Laying out
like,
expectations like, hey,
yeah,
we're on a team. This isn't just
right,
just me taking care of this kid. This is us
right.
working for this kid.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that again comes with experience, but some of these things you don't always have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
If you learned how to communicate and write emails and have phone calls,
Yeah.
with parents and things at conferences.
Yeah. And let's be real. I think like parent communication and parent contact over the course of the 16 years I've been in education has increased significantly. Parents
Yeah.
expect a lot more out of teachers. I think it's continuing to go that direction.
Right.
Right. I mean, before it was only a phone call if Johnny got on a fight in a fight on the playground, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
that was it. Maybe we're sending a newsletter home once a week, but I think like some parents expect to check in quite often, and if you don't, they're going to check in with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And like you said, how do you set the expectation that they don't expect a response, ASAP, or, you know,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Just setting up, kind of
Boundaries.
setting up boundaries. Yeah,
Right. And we've talked
exactly.
about that too. And it's
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
And if you have, if it's your first year teaching and you have that one-off class where you have a lot of really intense parents that don't have any boundaries and they don't respect your boundaries, like that can really impact you going into your second, third, and fourth year.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can really hit you hard.
Right. So if you had the combination of having this training during your education program, and you had a mentor that you could go to if you have these really intense parents, like how helpful would that be when you run into a real life situation, like, oh, I remember learning about this. I remember drafting up emails in response to, you know, these fake, you know, this training,
Mm-hmm.
and let me talk to my mentor about how to handle it, have them read my email over.
Yeah, it'd be incredibly helpful. I mean, it's like that is the epitome of being proactive rather than reactive, right?
Right.
Like we're just prepping this student for the issues that they're going to face, because like that's what we're talking about. People are having a hard time because challenges are becoming overwhelming for them, and they don't know how to handle them. And like that's legit, and we see things every day that we've never seen before. But if we are equipped, like you said, with tools to deal with those, or at least know another place to go to grab the tool, like our mentor, or even
Mm-hmm.
reach back to a book that we had on this course, then we're more likely to be able to find a way out of those struggles and be able to be there and be present for our kids every day.
Yeah.
Like it would be incredibly helpful.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So,
Oh, go
like,
ahead.
is that something that you'd like to do? Is like, is teach a course or develop a course at a university or something like that?
That would be a dream. It would be a dream. Not leave my current job and do that, because I think that takes away from the power, right? Like, I'm in it with you still,
Mm-hmm.
and also I can help because I've been doing it for a lot longer,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and have seen a lot and have experienced a lot and have made a lot of really big mistakes that I wish someone would have warned me about,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or taught me about. Um, yeah, it would be a dream. I would absolutely love it. It would be so fun. I think it would be really powerful. I think it would be super cool to have guest educators come in and teach a segment of it. Um, I just see a lot of hands on um, training and practice and confidence building, you know,
Yeah,
before they enter the profession, which I think could be super impactful.
super
Yeah, it kind
impactful.
of gives me goosebumps and makes me want to cry at the same time because
That's
it'd be so
awesome.
cool.
So I'm going to kick that back to you, the
Yeah.
listeners, the viewers. Like, if you know of like universities, colleges out there that do something similar to this, reach out to us. Let Becky know like what
Yeah.
it is, and because like, we want to know, we want to be able to spread the word around,
Mm-hmm.
universities here in the Midwest, and see what we can do to help. But if you want to lean on somebody that has the know-how and the drive, then again, reach out to Becky because she's here to help. Like that's the whole reason we're doing this, is to help, not just a couple talking heads that like to talk about school and issues, but we want to see things get better
Yeah.
for the next generation.
Yeah. We're ready to take action and have hard conversations. So,
For sure.
yeah, reach out. So, the next episode, I have some notes here and I want to get you excited about it. So, I sent out that survey. Yep.
All right.
And overwhelming, and I'll have the exact numbers in the episode next one. Overwhelming, the biggest challenge is student behavior, the increase in student behaviors. Biggest challenge for educators,
Mm-hmm.
almost like in the 90%, um, which is just overwhelming. And then I asked for what was one thing that you want the community to know about our world as educators, and what do you think the majority of people said?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
Um, I'm doing the best I can.
that was number two.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
got?
number one is that teaching doesn't replace parenting.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
it does not.
nearly every single response had something to do with how we as educators are forced to do the job of parents.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I'm excited for season 2. You've got this.
Yeah. And we got you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.